I'm Cathy Baron.
Brea Grant.
And we are obsessed with NPR. So just in case you weren't able to drive for 15 hours this week and listen to copious amounts, we have a little recap for you, some cliff notes. Anyway, so there was a NASCAR crash this week. At NASCAR, one of the cars crashed into the net and the engine went flying and the net barely saved it from killing tons of people, but pieces went through and these people got really hurt and they still, in the hospital, went and interviewed them and they wanted to go to the next.
Like in the audience?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they kept
wanting
wanting to go. That's right, I caught the end of that. They caught the end, they were like, oh no, we're going again.
Wait, the engine flew into the crowd?
Like pieces of the car.
But there's a
Not
net.
like this full-on engine.
Like the engine got stopped by the net, but pieces of it came through and they were like, ah, my leg.
That's really scary.
Yeah, so be careful if you go to NASCAR. Mediterranean diet, big on nuts and oil and fish and local veggies and things.
Yeah.
Really good for you.
Yeah, which I was like, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Shocking, like cuts down heart attacks and stuff by
Yeah.
like 30%.
There was also another story on food about how there in the past we've always thought that it's really important for everyone to eat at the table together and like having like family dinners and they did a study and they're like actually what's more important is to spend quality time, and now we spend quality time in different ways because the way our culture changes, because a lot of times we're at the table and we're on the internet or we're on our iPhones, and if you do that it doesn't really count. So if you like spend quality time by, let's say, listening to NPR together, or the biggest one they were like, is like playing outside with your kid. It becomes
dinner-
more of like it's just like everybody's kind of trying.
Even when I was a kid, it felt really forced. It was like, sit down to dinner now.
I forced my boyfriend to do it, and I don't want him to know that it's not. It doesn't matter.
We'll just edit that out.
Just get rid of that.
We saw that transitional kindergarten is being a big thing this week. They talked about like 4-year-olds going into transitional kindergarten before kindergarten. I guess preschool, right?
Should we have a category of like a no diet category? Obviously, Mediterranean diets are good for you, and school is good.
School is good. In Kenya, there is apparently a big problem with donkey meat being sold as beef. Big issue.
Well, there's like horse meat and
horse
stuff
meat,
now too, which
that's like the Kenyan
in my
version.
opinion is no different than eating a dog or a cat or a goat or anything. It's just an animal, but people are like, oh my god,
I do think it's really funny that people are like, oh my god, it's a horse. It's an animal that's majestic instead of
like,
dumb. Like it just
disclosure,
guys, just so you know.
vegans.
right.
Yeah, I thought that was shocking because they'd interview people and the kids would be like, ew, I'd never eat. That's not a Kenyan accent.
Yes.
I'd never eat.
You said it. You actually kind of sounded like the Lucky Charms guy just then.
There's a lot of leprechauns in Kenya. Little known fact. Azerbaijan. Help me pronounce this country.
What? It's a country. Okay.
It is. Azerbaijan. I'll put it here.
You have it written down?
I do, but I guessed. Is banning names. Like the country is cracking down no foreign names. Like literally, there's a list that people, when they have kids, can now pick the name from. And if it's not on there, like if it's combined names, like Muhammad Ali. Which I mean, they probably aren't naming that many kids that they can't have both. They have to pick one or the other, and they can't have Dimitri.
Wait, why?
Because the country didn't like the foreign influence, I guess.
So they only want names like of the area. Oh.
And also no combined names, so no Mary Kates or whatever.
Oh.
Or Cafe Anne's.
Why? What is the point? Like to have for control, but what kind of control is that?
I don't know. Maybe outside influences. They were just really concerned. I don't know.
Yeah, outside of because countries get very it's a very like we want to stay true to like our culture. That it's like a cultural.
They don't like melting pot.
No,
which is hard.
A lot of countries do not like
most
melting
countries aren't melting pots like America.
Right,
It's not something they value. It's more like this is ours. They don't talk like Golem either.
They're basically just run by giant evil villains
Proof.
who talk into like this is mine.
Mustache twisting. Really big goldfish being found in Lake Tahoe.
Like how big?
Like 4 pound big. Like people have been like dumping.
Are they dump? I like to think they flushed them down the toilet and
Maybe
somehow
that.
they ended
Yeah,
up
no,
there.
In
But
like
that's
the sewer.
but that's not
like
true.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle
Yeah.
style.
But that
Yeah,
means the sewer goes into Lake Tahoe, which would be kind of.
Yeah, nothing.
Okay, I think.
But they're like, I was just playing.
Oh, because you know what? Goldfish grow to the size, they like depending on the size of the tank
bowl.
they're in or the bowl or whatever. So you get like a giant bowl, you get a bigger goldfish.
Or a lake.
Or a lake, you get a giant fucking
I don't
goldfish.
think I'm comfortable with this.
With the what?
I don't like fish skin. Their eyes.
So we discovered Cathy has fear of goldfish.
Yes,
There's a horror film. I did think that sounded like a horror film in the making, though. Like one of those, like sci-fi monster goldfish attack Lake Tahoe. Spring break.
Oh yeah, that's totally a sci-fi film. I dibs on the right.
TM
dibs.
us. What? Banksy? Banksy, did I say that right? Banksy, yeah, big guy, you know, big deal with the street art and everything.
Yeah.
He,
It's cool, right? He's like, cool, I'm cool, whatever.
I know who he is.
I saw how you pronounce his name. Anywho, he apparently like done some street art on like a market wall in this neighborhood, and they'd taken it off some art sellers and were selling it in this auction. And the neighborhood's really pissed off. They want it back. This one was really funny. There was a pop star in let me make sure I get it right, Mali, who her name is Umu Sangare. I hope I said that right. And she is the first pop star to have a car named after her. And she actually, it's not just that they named it after her, she actually developed the car with China, because in Mali, the cars are really expensive and people can't usually afford them. And so that she was like, what is this? China has $8,000 cars. I'm gonna go to China, work out an $8,000 car and bring it back to the country. And so they named it after her.
And she's a pop star?
Yeah, she's like a multi-hyphenate and she owns hotels and stuff.
She's a multi-hyphenate in that she is a pop star and a car dealer.
Diversification.
Guys, we're not doing enough with our lives.
I feel like that every day.
And then I listen to NPR and cry.
One of the side effects of global warming that we haven't like thought about is that people who work outside, like day laborers who like pick cotton and pick berries and all that kind of stuff, it's getting so hot in certain parts of the country and certain parts of the world that they actually, their days are having to get shortened. So it's going to affect our agriculture because they can't be out in the sun for that long. But so it's going to affect how, eventually, like how much produce and how much we can do.
That's terrifying.
Isn't it?
On that. Speaking of, which is a nice segue, into the Green Pope. Pope stepped down this week. First time in 600 years that a pope is resigned as opposed to died.
That's true.
And he's known sort of as the Green Pope, which, granted, there's not a lot of comparison. Not too many have cared about it.
Wasn't he in like a big airplane or something?
He's been in airplanes, but he was trying to offset his...
big, like, drone-looking thing.
Oh, he flew off in a helicopter, yeah. They said that was a little out of character. He usually drives an electric car, and he was offsetting his flights all over with carbon offset with some forest in Hungary that turned out to be a con. Who cons the Pope? Like, that's sort of sucky, guys.
I wrote to the Pope once.
Did you? What did he say?
When I was in middle school.
Did you write you back?
Somebody wrote back. I'm gonna write the Pope and tell him to come here and bless us. And yeah, I know, it was really weird. And somebody wrote back and they were like, he can't come, I'm sorry, but...
The Pope's a little busy right now being the fucking Pope.
But we'll pray for you.
This was big. The Violence Against Women Act finally passed. Apparently, like, it's never been an issue before in the 20-some years or whatever that it's been around. And then, for some reason, it's controversial this year because they'd wanted to include LGBT community women as well as Native American women who traditionally they can only, because on the reservations, they can only get have trials on like tribal councils, but they couldn't try guys that weren't Native Americans. So non-Native guys would come and do horrible things and rape women on the reservation, and then nothing could be done. And so they were trying to include it so that they could. And certain parts of our house are having issues with that. So
how hard is it to just have equal rights?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's very hard.
What is the big fucking deal? I get really mad. Like, I don't understand why is it so hard?
Well, luckily, it's a
Do you need to take a moment? Do you need to take a moment?
Ready?
Like have a feminist corner and like go and hang out in it for a minute?
I don't understand.
But it passed. Yay.
Yay,
That's great. It's great.
Good job.
So in Guam, there's this big problem with these giant brown snakes. Have you heard of this? So these giant brown snakes that get into, and it's actually a big thing because they actually get into like the power lines. Kathy's dying. Like, right, the actual snakes. They get into like the power lines and they'll cut off power, and then they also apparently ate enough of a certain kind of endangered bird that I think maybe it's extinct now because it was like they don't have any natural predators in Guam.
Man.
So what they're doing
They need a Pied Piper.
Right, what they're doing in order to get rid of these snakes is that they are dropping poisoned mice in biodegradable parachute boxes from the sky down to the ground, and then and then the snakes will eat them and then die.
And they were touching little like flags just in case like kids found them. So
right, don't eat these because these mice are poison.
Other mice are cool, but they were poisoning it with like acetaminophen or something. It's poisonous to snakes, but you know, I guess.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So
I didn't know that.
kids, if you want to eat them, you could, but try to avoid them.
Right, that mice falling from the sky.
Hold on a second. There are mice parachuting from the sky right now.
Dead
Well, they don't have like little tiny parachutes on their boxes.
Falling down to the ground.
And there's some sort of like
flags on
triangular.
them.
It's like
They're tandem with flags on them.
Well, they're dead. They're dead. They're dropping dead mice out of the sky. That's like a plague.
That could turn into a whole new problem.
We TM'd the heck out of that for another movie too.
Yeah, we just. I just wrote that script while we were sitting here.
We're going to Guam to shoot, Kathy.
Watch out for the giant brown snakes. Bring a giant brown snake repellent. They had a name, the snakes, by the way. I just
Yeah,
don't know
they
what
were
it
called. We'll just put it here.
Yeah, put like a photo of it up.
They were called.
It's gonna be snakes on a plane next.
Snakes on a plane.
They're gonna get on airplanes.
That's how they opened up the story. They literally had that. They had, we gotta get these snakes on. What I know what the line is.
The motherfucking island. So also there's this thing called, I'm gonna say it wrong, chapati, which is a Hindu ritual, and I'm sure other cultures did it too, but in Nepal, it's a bit of an issue where once a month during the periods, women are kicked out of the house. They're not allowed to be in the house. They're not allowed to touch anything. They literally have to sleep outside, usually in like a cave or something. Nepal's kind of cold, so the women are dying. Women are burning to death from starting fires. Children are like, sometimes they'll have their baby with them. The babies have gotten stolen by jackals and things like. That's huge, right?
A fucking jackal?
So it's journalists, right? A jackal.
I don't want to have that problem.
Dingo stole my baby. Like how TED Talks. It was been Long Beach for 5 years, and they're moving it. Last one. Now they're back up to like Vancouver.
But the people in Long Beach were like, we don't really give a shit because it's like $7,000 to go, so none of us really go. And I think they like don't. People probably don't leave the conference very often, so it's not like it was a big money.
The hotels are probably like no, and the restaurants, and the restaurants are like.
Vancouver's pretty.
Okay. This morning, did you guys hear about the rat mine melting?
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on with rats, huh?
There is.
Yeah, rats.
The rat mine melt.
Okay, this is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Okay. They connected two rats' brains, right?
Yeah, like I'm rat 1, and she's rat 2.
And I knew how to do some sort of problem solving.
Like she went through a maze.
I went through a maze. Okay, they connected our brains, and the rat 1
I've never done the maze.
Could get through the maze and knew how to do
What?
it.
They put me in.
Without practicing, without knowing. It like knew how to do what the other rat knew.
Okay.
We could sell
This
that.
is going to start happening with humans really quickly.
SATs, watch that.
And there will
I
be
don't think so.
no secrets.
And
Between this and Google Glass, we're all fucked.
how about North Korea, guys? Did you hear about that? So Dennis Rodman went to North Korea. Not really like our fave country right now, if you're America.
That is our fave athlete right now, I think.
And
Is that
Dennis Rodman?
he told Kim Jong-un. He went to North Korea and he told Kim Jong-un that he is a friend for life. North Korea did the whole nuclear testing thing, which are like,
Right.
why you gotta do that?
Right.
We told you no.
So
Sanctions.
is Dennis Rodman a spy?
Another movie. I hope he turns this into some sort of diplomatic awesomeness and convinces them to stop doing nuclear testing.
Yeah, I mean,
but I kind of
don't
doubt it.
know why.
If he turns out to be a spy, genius us. Good job, CIA.
Yeah.
I mean, how do we even get into the head of Dennis Rodman? Like, what would Dennis Rodman do? WWDRD.
Guys,
I don't know.
rat mind meld. Somebody in the CIA is mind melding with Dennis Rodman
yes.
and controlling him, and it's gonna be awesome. And now we don't have to worry about North Korea. Ah. Well, that's pretty much a sum up of kind of what happened this week at NPR. I'm sure we missed stuff, but that's what we caught. Let us know what you guys caught if we missed something. I'm like, oh, Kai, keep talking to me with your dulcimer voice.
Yeah, their voices are very soothing.
I would maybe marry Ira Glass's voice.
Oh, yeah.
From, What's your favorite part about NPR?
I love learning new things on NPR, and I like getting opinions from all sides, and NPR provides that for me. That's my favorite thing about NPR.
I drive a lot, as we all do, because we live in Los Angeles, and I would much rather, it keeps me awake, and I can listen and absorb and feel like I'm not wasting my time sitting on the 405 every day.
I like the wait,
It all runs together.
I love Wait, Don't Tell Me.
Don't know.
I download that and listen to it at the gym.
I like it. And This American Life.
Yeah, that's what I want, yeah.
And BBC World News.
I like Splendid Table, which
like that.
most of the stuff on there I do not like to cook because like I don't eat beef, but they had this big beef thing last week, but I just like listening to her voice. And then
It makes you drool.
also I like Off Ramp. I like the Weekend NPR.
Thanks for listening, and that's NPR in a nutshell.
Yay!